Good morning, everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of Fuel the Fire with me, Naz. I'm going to go through kind of a typical day in my life. Today's a pretty packed day. Wednesday is usually a mix of both Elevate and Unreal. So those are the two main big companies that I am a part of. Elevate is, again, something that I run with my two business partners. Today's pretty busy. I usually start the day with a lot of Elevate work. So some coaching in the morning, some meetings that we always do on Wednesdays, just to kind of go through our plans, our business plans, making sure we're aligned with each other. And then I also have a presentation to get through. It's a presentation on nutrition stuff, and that's kind of like what I lead in the Unreal side of things. I'll be doing this with my colleague James. Some training to do, some admin work, so lots of things, but excited for you guys to come along with me, so let's go. Typically do a bagel in the morning with my omelet that I prepped the night before. But yeah, this is a go-to. Don't fix what's not broken. Every single day, this is honestly key. Biscoff, key. Got the omelet ready already. I usually have the bagel with Biscoff because I cannot live without Biscoff. That is key. Good morning, my bagel. I usually have my coffee just an ice cold black in the morning, or sometimes with iced oat. At the moment, it's just been pretty hot, so I just need to cool myself down. Typical iced black. Too easy. Just a small serving of coffee. I feel like on packed days, I like to kind of just like have back-to-back caffeine, and I've been trying to make sure I'm not overloading my system with caffeine. So I just start the morning with pretty much a shot. I guess you could say a shot or a double for my cup of coffee, and then maybe have another one in about 2-3 hours and try and cut it off like before 1 p.m. Yeah, I'm very like strict with the coffee and the caffeine consumption. I'm not the type of person who's still having caffeine at around like 3-4. I think it really helps me sleep better, helps me wind down better. I think with the whole training, especially like when you're doing a lot of double training, double session throughout the day, and then lots of coaching throughout the day, it's so hard for me to wind down. That's actually helped me quite a lot, keeping my caffeine moderate. Here is my breakfast, guys. It's just an omelet and then a bagel and some Biscoff. This is basically what I eat almost all the time. Sometimes I change the bread. Sometimes it could be just like sourdough, it could be a gardenia bread. Honestly, like, I'm not too fussed, but that's pretty much a go-to meal. These are my little babies. They're the cutest in the morning. It makes me feel so energized. I think the hardest part in the morning is like realizing you just never have a good amount of time, and it always feels so rushed. So I really treasure weekends because it's a bit slower and less rushed. But one thing about weekdays, it's like you always have to kind of say bye to them. It's so rushed and not be able to spend time with them throughout the day. You're such a cutie. Usually Stewie is also up in the morning with me. We don't usually vlog in the morning though, but this is ever. But we usually both have a 6 a.m. most of the time now together, or sometimes he'd have the only 6 a.m. and then I don't have any 6 a.m.s, but he has a little different breakfast compared to mine. It's a bit of a concoction of different things.
Greek yogurt, protein powder, cereal, banana, more yogurt.
He seems to have more sweet tooth in the morning compared to me. I like a savory start to the day. Hence the bagel and some eggs. So yeah. So today's not really a packed day that I can't really get out to find food. So I'm just packing my lunch, which is basically some rice and veggies. Very simple. We get our meats from the meat club, as you know. This is chicken, and then I've also packed them more snacks for later because sometimes you always need some protein. Some biltong, and I'm probably gonna get the hazelnut peanut butter. The other snack is some mangoes because one can't have not many carbs in a day. I need a lot of carbs in a day. So that's that. The packed meals. I'll probably get more snacks throughout the day, like coffee, banana bread, or something. But yeah, usually today I have a bit more like room throughout the day to just have a bit more freedom of my food choices. But usually I usually just pack a lunch and then kind of go by the day because I have kind of protein shakes throughout post-workout and everything like that. And we are off, guys. I swear mornings feel so rushed. I will bike to work, and this is me biking. Stu's decided to take a cab. So yeah, this is my usual ride. Okay, obviously for safety reasons, I will stop recording here. But mornings are usually packed and a lot of focus is needed because sometimes I look at the clock and I'm like, oh my God, I am running late, which is basically now. So yeah, see you in a sec. I must say it is a pretty hectic morning. So basically I've quickly set up the class. We have 6, 7, 8 a.m. work capacity. So a lot of cardio work, and I just didn't have time to kind of like vlog all of that to set up because honestly, time is money. So yeah, I'll try and show kind of clips like of me coaching and me kind of setting up and explaining the class, doing the warm-ups and everything. I'll probably see you guys at the team meeting, our Elevate team meeting, where it's a little bit more chill because morning's a little hectic. I just need to set everything and start on time. So yeah. What are you getting, Dylan?
So basically the go-to is I'm trying to prioritize my protein intake at the moment. I'm going to go for the oatmeal.
That's pretty much carbs, but I usually get the banana bread, you can see, and an iced oat.
But the choices are pretty good. What did you think about that meeting, Dylan?
Highly productive.
Yeah?
I feel sometimes you just got to step out of the workspace
Uh-huh.
to get those creative juices flowing.
Okay. What do you think about our next chapter at Elevate?
I think we've got some amazing things coming.
Yeah.
Trying to just really meet people where they're at
100%.
and get them better on the daily.
Yeah, another year, 2025. Looking forward.
Say hi, Gareth.
Hi, Gareth.
She's vlogging.
I'm vlogging.
The vlogger.
So this is my other boss, Gareth.
Get to work.
Yeah, I need to get to work. Okay, come on. So we are heading to a different cafe because we need to do more admin work and we need more coffee.
We got no office.
We've got no office and it keeps us engaged for the stuff that we do. But Stu and I, we have a lot of admin stuff to do. As you know, we are behind, a lot of stuff happens behind the scenes that no one really sees. I run the content stuff for Elevate. I run the nutrition stuff for Elevate. I also coach. I do PT. Stu does
Programming.
everything.
all the finances,
Everything else. Finances,
all the coach
program.
management.
Yeah, coach
employee
management, programming, finances. He does one-on-one PT still. He's still taking clients. He does coaching on floor. He does the ollie lifts, coach classes in the weekend and on the weekend. And on top of all that, we also have training goals. But so far it's been manageable. I mean, we're still walking, we're still living. Yeah, you kind of will see how we manage our life, our 24 hours. We'll train later. And on top of that, we still have to try and eat and recover. So yeah. So guys, we have been working for the past 45 minutes doing lots of things, but what I've been working on particularly is actually getting testimonials from my clients, because I've been doing a new service for Elevate, which is like a one-off nutrition consultation. I've been getting a lot of clients who are wanting to do the fine-tuning of their nutrition towards their high rocks and their like general training basically. And they just recently did their high rock Bangkok, so it's been really good to hear that it's obviously helped them. So yeah, that's pretty cool. What has Stu been doing today? What have you been doing?
I am building out the Elevate Employee Handbook
I don't know if you can see
and
that.
our coaching manual, which is currently at 67 pages long.
It's a lot, guys.
Going through kind of like our SOPs on how we support clients over their beginning months at Elevate and going forwards, how we support them on their basic nutrition front, kind of what our expectations are of the company on our coaches, our KPIs and how we track them, and then developing our employees' special niches and developing them as a coach. So we're putting this together to make sure we build our team into the best possible coaches.
Yeah. As you know, I'm also working as part of the nutrition education team for Unreal. So I actually have a presentation to do today with one of my colleagues, James. So I've also been multitasking and just running through the presentation to chat later on. We're kind of working on this is pretty much the second topic that we have, but it's basically tailoring nutrition for different clients. We have been doing these education presentation, Stu's part of it as well, Dylan's part of it as well. But it gets us to have a continuing professional development for the team of coaches, the team of PTs at Unreal. I think it's been honestly an awesome add-on to the company itself. We've seen so much growth in all the trainers, and we really love to see when like so many PTs, so many trainers have that like desire to learn and to excel and be better in their coaching. Okay, I'm done with a bit of admin, so I'm gonna head back to the gym, get some snack because I am starving already, and I gotta meet a friend to pass her my old Garmin because she's a runner now. One of the hardest things when you are on the go is just having snacks, just having enough food throughout the day. Sometimes I get so locked into admin work or just laptop work that I forget time flies, and then 2-3 hours later and I'm like, oh my gosh, I am lacking some food. Particularly protein. I think protein's so hard because it's just not super accessible, so I have to have a protein shake handy or maybe a protein bar. Carbs are pretty easy, and it's a pretty easy one to pack, but this is kind of the things that I need to be on top of because I have training goals, I have performance goals, and yeah, it's not an easy life, but I wouldn't have it any other way. So guys, I know this is a hot day outside, but it is always nice for me to actually go for a walk when I have a bit of break between clients. So I have a client in about like 20 minutes time. It's nice to have a bit of vitamin D when you're always kind of like indoors. I think one of the things that keeps me sane is getting some sunshine. So yeah, it's a great day out. Very, very hot. Yeah, been back to back. It's nice to be within my own thoughts. Helps me reset Sometimes I do listen to a podcast, but I was kind of like walking around just to go through my presentation again. So yeah, see you later during my presentation. James, how did the presentation go?
Pretty well.
Yeah.
There's some good questions.
Quite nice, actually. Thanks to all those people who asked me and James questions, because that made the presentation interesting. Unfortunately, Joash did not.
I was listening.
Listening and learning.
Listening and learning. Of course, husband always overachiever. He would always ask the questions. I'm like, okay, cool. Thanks so much, Stu, for making the presentation, the seminar, engaging. We are heading to training. Finally, I feel so wrecked already, but we gotta lift some tin.
Why do you put on the blogger voice? Speak normally.
Where are we going, Stewie?
Going to the Lion's Den.
Yeah.
Weightlifting.
Yeah. Shout out to Ryan for letting us train at Lion's Den. So we got some weightlifting to do.
Get out of work occasionally
Yeah.
and train somewhere else.
Get the mind out of Elevate for a bit. It's always good to kind of like separate work and fun. Anyways, we'll get to the gym and I'll tell you what I'm gonna do and what Stu's gonna do. Going to the Lion's Den.
So I got some full body session today. We got clean work, so some hang power cleans, and then I have some front squats, and then a little bit of hip thrust action, and then I'll probably finish off with some upper body and some core. So yeah, pretty simple, but trying to kind of balance both running and also still doing a little bit of functional fitness for the Turf Games. But yeah, the main focus is still running, but I think being able to still do a little bit of ollie here and there will keep it technique, so it's not a bit of a shock after I've done my half marathon. So guys, I just finished my hang power clean. It felt pretty good, but my back is very sore from Monday, so I couldn't really lift the 70 kilos. I'm moving on to front squats now. Let's see how that goes. My iPhone storage ran out, so I couldn't video the rest of my training, but this is what I usually have post-workout. The trusted Rockaby, 30 grams of protein, enough amount of carbohydrates, 18.7, not too bad. Not too bad. But these are everywhere, so it's an easy one that I kind of get on the go. What did you have post-workouts too?
I haven't yet. I'll eat when I go home.
Yeah, I can't. I'm too hungry. So this will do, and then I'll probably have another meal, and then dinner, and then more snacks. So yeah, we're back home. How do we feel after a long day of work? This isn't even long. This is a short day, guys. And yeah, sometimes, well, he always finishes at 8. I have some evenings finish, but not as much as Stu. And this is considered a short day.
Early day.
An early morning start always, but a short day. But we are excited to see our doggies. They're probably gonna bully us to playing ball with them, so let's
see.
Careful! Careful! What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? Hello, my love. Oh my gosh, girls.
Cheating. Cheating. Go on, go on.
Okay guys, I am back home. I've showered. I am gonna show you guys what we're gonna prep for dinner. So first of all, I'm privileged enough that I do have a helper. So she is somewhere, but her name's Neela and she has been an amazing cook and have helped pretty much meal prep for both Stu and I. But tonight's dinner, we are gonna be doing a sweet and sour beef stir fry with the lovely meat from the Meat Club. I cannot recommend it enough. They basically stock quite a lot of like meat products, whether you want like strip loin, Wagyu beef patties even. But what we got is the stir fry strips. It's already kind of prepped in the bowl. Each packet is around like 300 grams. So we're gonna cook all of them. So it's about 150 grams per serving. I'm just gonna show you guys the ingredients. So we have some bell peppers. We're gonna cut out some pineapple as well, onion, and then of course some spring onions as well, and celery. And we actually use a Asian sauce, and of course season it with salt and pepper throughout the process. But pretty simple. I like all the things that we have for dinner and lunches, mainly Asian inspired. I think our helper does a lot of like stir fry, fried rice. We also do a lot of Japanese. We've done like an oyakodon, which is like a chicken egg bowl. We've done curries, Japanese curries, Thai curries. We've also done Indonesian. So honestly, very privileged that we have an amazing cook. So yeah, I'll probably, again, I'm just gonna be real. I don't cook now. She does most of the cooking, so it's been great, but I thought I'd show you guys kind of behind the scenes. I thought I'd show you guys some more Meat Club products that we've got. So something that we also got is the chicken fillet. Okay, again, chicken is a staple. We do have a lot of those for lunches, even dinners. Just depends on the mood, depends on what the menu is. We also got cold cuts. I do love a cold cuts whenever I'm on the go and I make sandwiches, or I'll have it on my omelet. I'll have it in the morning, breakfast, anything really. I do have the salmon fillets in the freezer. But yeah, Meat Club does quite a range of meat products, and of course they also do fruits and veg that you can also order. Okay guys, the food is prepped, it's cut. So I actually have these measured as well, just for kind of accountability. I just need to make sure I have enough macros, also some added carbs with the pineapple. I don't really like too much sauces, so that's why we just want to make sure it's pretty balanced. And then of course, like I said, it is already measured. That is 300 grams, 150 per person. We are a rice fan, so we always have most of our meals with white rice because it digests well for us and it keeps us happy and well fueled. Rice is cooking. So yeah, I'll show you kind of the finished product, but that's basically what we have for dinner. Voila guys, we have sweet and sour stir fry made by my beloved helper Neela. Looks delicious, so it is dinner time. So Stu and I are having dinner separately because he's watching State of Origin game and busy with his own stuff, whilst I'm doing some catch up with the friends. But like I said, we are privileged enough to have a helper that cooks for us. But in the evening, we usually just focus on a balanced recovery meal, especially after a long day and back-to-back training sessions. Like I said, rice is life, so we always have rice as a staple for carbohydrates. Lots of veg from the bell peppers, and then we even add even more carbohydrates from the pineapple. The strip loin is like around 150 grams raw, so it's a good chunk of protein. As I said earlier in the day, it's so hard to get enough protein if I'm like back to back and pretty busy. So just making sure we have a big serving in the evening will set me up for a good recovery for another day. So yeah, after this meal, I usually have a bedtime snack again, which I'll show you guys later. So see you in the bedtime snack. I thought I'd close this day because it's been a long day packed with a lot of thinking. It wasn't really the most busiest in terms of like PT and coaching, but there was quite a lot of admin work, a lot of speaking, a lot of educating, and a lot of brainstorming and just creating as well on behind the scenes when I'm doing like my content for Elevate. So I'm just gonna finish off this episode 2 for Fuel the Fire. So yeah, looking forward to the next episode. See you. Have a good night.